Texas for their summer program. And my favorite part was I got to work with faculty of a school that I really am interested in going to this fall, and I got to learn what I want in a instructor and what I want in a school and what I don't want.
Hi, I'm Kennedy Kovacs. I'm a senior and I went to Ithaca and NYU. And what I liked about my summer intensives was I got to do a city and an urban place, so I got to like compare different environments.
Hey, I'm Liam, and I'm in 12th grade. So this past summer I attended Boston Conservatory, their intensive, but the year prior I did UNCSA's summer intensive. So especially what I liked about this one this year was that I got to compare it, because UNCSA's campus is a lot smaller. So I got to compare how that's like to being in a city and being in the city of Boston. So that was cool, kind of like Kennedy. I can speak more on that if you want. It's fine.
I'm Ruby. I'm in 12th grade. I went to the Muni, and something I liked was I kind of learned what it was like to work professionally.
Hello, I'm DJ. I also went to the Muni with Ruby and 3 others, and I'm in 12th grade. And one thing I liked was getting to perform a show with a bunch of Broadway actors.
Hi, I'm Ella. I'm in 11th grade, and I went to Oklahoma City University and also the University of Cincinnati. Something I really liked about Oklahoma is getting to work with the staff and putting on a production while you're there. And also at CCM, I really enjoyed being on the campus and exploring sort of that part of college, you know?
Hi, I'm Sophia. I'm in 11th grade and I went to Stage Door Manor. And one thing that I liked about Stage Door was the community that they had and also the experience of putting on a show in such a short time while also getting class experience with like professional people.
Can we have Lindsay do it one more time, please? Sorry.
Hi, my name is Lindsay. I'm in 11th grade. I went to the college audition conservatory. And my favorite part about my conservatory was that a bunch of like big name colleges got to watch us mock audition at the end of the week and gave us feedback.
All right, so do we have any questions from the audience? I want to make sure that if you have a question directed at one or several of the kids, we get that answered. And then if not, then we can go through and let them talk some more. Heather.
Okay, I'm gonna be the complete noob. Tell me what this is. Like, I'm completely clueless. I take your photos, that's it. So tell me what this summer program is.
Oh. No, I was just like, oh, she's the one that took the photos. I was like,
There's a camera here normally, so you don't see my face.
It's just like, it's a heightened version of a summer camp.
Okay.
Where we do what we love all day, every day, and some of them are on college campuses for college specialized programs, and some of them are like partnership programs, and some are even in New York. There's all sorts of summer intensives, but most of the rising seniors, we try to go to college intensives, but the Muni was an exception. Because when you get to go your senior year, you can like experience living in a dorm and using a communal bathroom with everyone. Not the best, but we worked through it. And you get to figure out, what you want in a program and what you want as you go through your college audition process. And not everyone who goes to intensives has to go and do this for college. I mean, it's doing what we love, it's for fun, so it's just a heightened version of a summer camp.
Yeah. You get like a little taste of what you might want to do going into the full 4, 6, however many years. Okay, cool, thank you.
And some of them are shorter. I mean, there's from like, I think Lindsay, you were like 8 days to 3 weeks. I mean, there's summer intensives in all different shapes and sizes too.
And how do you find out about them? Is this from guidance? Is this from the teachers that you got, or?
Google.
So you guys went and found these?
Yeah, you have to kind of do your own research. It's different for every school, and every school's gonna have different requirements, different dates. Like Nexus is already open, probably.
Mm-hmm. And you have to apply and audition for these as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I think all of them. Everyone here, you had to audition for.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
How did you find it, Ella?
basically just looked at colleges that I thought I would be interested in, and I tried to see if they had intensives in the first place, and then just auditioned. Yeah.
Can you talk about your preparation process, what you had to put together in order to have a successful audition?
Should we go down?
Sorry, teacher, that was my teacher.
So I just looked at every most conservatories have like a list of what you need. So like a monologue, 2 songs, a dance. So I literally just used the Chicago audition call for my dance, and then I worked with my voice teacher to get 2 songs, and then I used my monologue from acting B. So.
A lot of the materials we luckily get to work on in class. So especially for seniors, most of us wanted to use the rep that we're gonna use in college auditions and work on it at our intensive. So I auditioned with one of the songs I'm singing for college auditions now, and one of a different song that I'm not using anymore, and then monologue from class, dance videos. It's very similar to what we're all going through now for senior college auditions. So it was nice to feel like the excitement of putting together videos, but also hating it and also loving it all at the same time.
Yeah, I just used like stuff that we did in school. Like you get songs from rep, you get monologues from acting, and then there's combos in every dance class that you take. So
Yeah, I would say I did the same. I mean, I just picked my favorite MT Rep song and said, I'm gonna do it. And then I did a monologue and then a dance call. But I think the biggest thing for me about preparing, at least auditioning for these intensives, was I wanted to do it as quickly as possible, because I did UNCSA the year before and I was like, I have time, I'm just gonna get to it. And then it was late and I was like, oh, get your video together. What?
When did you start then for the audition?
I started like early, like I started like December, like I would have already started.
So they need to be starting now.
I would say start now. That's just.
I want to say
yeah.
most applications start closing in March.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably.
So
Michigan closes in February.
Yeah.
Theirs is
Michigan
really,
closes in February too.
really.
So
And how many of you guys were musical theater versus performance?
I think
we're all musical.
All musical? Okay. I recognize you, but I don't know. I don't get it. Not sure which is which.
Well, okay, I'll just keep going, I guess. So, like, the Muni had a specialized dance call for their audition, and I didn't submit any of them right. So I think they had like a contemporary song, and a Golden Age song, and a monologue, and I didn't submit anything right. So don't do that. Yeah. So just make sure you check the requirements, because I
And what
Slightly
is the
did.
Muni again?
Huh?
What is the Muni again?
What
it's
is-
a regional theater in St. Louis.
It's not a school?
It's the largest outdoors.
A little bit more than that.
It's like
They play to
Yeah.
11,000 every night.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
It's a big one.
It's partnered with Webster University.
Ah.
So we stayed on Webster's campus, and then the first week was just rehearsals from like 9 to 5.
And then classes with the people.
Yeah, it was like
the Broadway actors.
So yeah, there was a master class for like an hour and a half. That was the first week, and then when we opened the show, we opened the show, and then the next day we started the Webster classes. So we got to meet the Webster faculty, and then they would teach us like a regular day of school basically at Webster, and then like it would end around 3 o'clock. We'd have dinner, go back to the Muni, and then perform the show, and then it was just wake up and repeat. So yeah, it was cool.
For Oklahoma and CCM, they were both pretty similar when preparing the auditions. Of course, like some of them ask for more specific things, like 2 songs, but one of them should be a golden age, or 2 monologues, but they have to be contrasting, which is a pretty important thing to note. And I feel like also if you're only asked to sing 1 song, or you have 2 options and it's not specified whether or not one of them should be golden age, I feel like it's just important to sing a golden age, because it kind of sets you apart from the rest of the teenagers that might be auditioning. Yeah.
So at Stage Door, you audition for like your placement, and so they ask just for everyone to bring your rep book, whatever songs are in your book, and then if you wanted to audition for a like a master acting class or a master voice class, they asked you to bring in extra songs or a monologue. So I didn't use a monologue to audition because I was going for the master voice, and I believe for master dance they sent in the dance as well. So yeah.
And is this done all digitally, or you go?
Yes, so ours, for at least for Stage Door, it was all done digitally, and then the placement for kids who weren't doing master dance, you took the, they taught you choreography at Stage Door.
Golly.
What does golden age song mean? So when you say you have a contemporary song, you have golden age, what?
Golden Age is just pre-1970s. Just a pre-1970s musical theater song.
I have a question for Liam. What do you like different from Boston Conservatory and UNCSA, which you went to last year?
Okay, that's a very, very good question. So I would say they were very different, like a lot different. What I liked about Boston was I was able to like be all over the city and stuff. They really like let us explore and let us like go out on our own. We just had to be there for class and be in check-in and curfew and stuff. So that was really cool, but my biggest thing at Boston was I never felt more like able to just fully be myself with the teachers and stuff, which was something really incredible. Was I could just be me, and and it was just like a back and forth. It was really great. But at UNCSA, a thing I loved was their teaching was just like incredible. Like the techniques that they use for acting wise, because it's UNCSA has a BFA in acting. They don't have a musical theater BFA. So I was a part of their MT track, but it was definitely heavily more focused on acting. And it was just incredible. So.
And was Boston Conservatory more dance?
Yeah, but I also went for their acting intensive. So, but it was great because I got all of it. So it was it was great. So I because I love dance. I mean, like if you guys have seen me in a show here or know me, I like to dance a little bit. So I was like, oh, I want to improve, and I just want to like grow my acting and my singing, which is why I chose the musical theater acting intensive. But we had electives that we were able to take, so I took all of the dance electives that I could take, and they were like every single weekend. So I got like just as many like dance classes as I did like acting classes and movement classes. So I got it all, and it was really great. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I know a lot of these are going into your junior and senior year, but if you did any intensives or special programs at like after freshman year or sophomore year that maybe aren't as college focused, but just general training, can any of you talk to that?
Yeah, oh, sorry.
You go ahead.
I went to SOCAPA, which is the School of the Creative and Performance Arts, and so that one I did last year, so going in my sophomore year, I think. Yeah, and so that one is, yeah, it's based in New York, and it's very similar, I don't remember what college you said, but it was very walk around the campus, only go for class, and that one is it's a little less intense, and I went for the musical theater program, but I was in 12 student films while I was there, so I took musical theater classes, but during like the afternoons and stuff and during breaks from class, we would go film student films for the film kids, because it's not just musical theater, they have art, acting, all of that stuff, so it's more lax.
Oh, there's a lot of so sorry. There's a lot of local options too by teachers who work here. So going into my junior year, Miss Bear, who's one of the dance instructors here for musical theater and for dance, she had these Fosse classes down in St. Augustine at the dance company, and it was the most beautiful studio. It's right on the beach, and the windows are beach, and it was at like 9 a.m. in the morning, and we did Fosse, and it was for 4 weeks, like on Monday, and that's great because it's here, and it's by teachers that work here, and you already love. And then Mr. Cooper, who's also a dance teacher here, he has an intensive that
yeah.
It's
intense.
It's
a dance intensive.
I also went to Oklahoma City for a dance intensive last year, and I was very happy that I had his before I went, because I don't think I would have been in, like, because sometimes in summer you're slacking and you get out of the rhythm of things. So I'm glad I got whipped into shape during Mr. Cooper's intensive to go to Oklahoma City.
And his ab workout will do that to you.
Yeah. I also did Florida Ballet intensive with ICE that same summer. And it's a little bit of money, but they also offer a lot of scholarships. So that one's good if you want to get like good, like ballet technique. Like, yeah.
I have a question. So Lindsay, when you said mock auditions, can you tell us a little bit more about how that works?
Yeah, like basically the whole week is dedicated to like master classes with different colleges. So like we did voice technique with Michigan, and then acting through a song with Carnegie Mellon, and then we would do dance with CCM, and like they taught us a dance call, and then at the end of the week we auditioned for each of these colleges. So like it didn't mean anything, but it was just practice for when you actually are auditioning for these colleges. And then after like a week of the intensive, they would give you feedback online.
So do you think that, I know you took it as coming into your junior year, so did you got feedback that you even worked on now in school?
I think it was really helpful going into my junior year, because I feel like senior year I would much rather go into like a college that I know I want to go to, and really like there were so many colleges there that I got to just like see a different taste of each college and figure out which ones I really liked.
Thanks.
I have questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
How did you choose the intensive programs that you applied to? Did you do it based on location? Did you do it because that was a school that you wanted to go to? Did you look at more the program and what the focuses of the intensive were, what they were going to be? Was cost a factor at all? Like, what went into the decision-making process when you guys looked into these programs?
I started by looking at programs I wanted to go to college-wise, and that research has to kind of start happening junior year, and it seems like a lot to tackle, but if you reach out to any of us in the senior class, we'll help you, and it's not that scary. It's a lot easier than it seems like. And so once you look at the programs that you want to go to for college, you can see if they offer a summer intensive. And so I was between going to Texas State and Florida State, and Florida State previously used to have another professor from Shenandoah at Florida State, so it was like 2 colleges in one. But unfortunately, they're starting their own summer intensive at Shenandoah, and so he wasn't able to go. And so I decided to go to Texas State because one, it was cheaper than FSU, and it was I want to say it was longer as well. And Texas State, you kind of just know which one you want to go to and spend this time with. And I ended up meeting the most amazing people that I still talk to all the time, and that I'm gonna see in Unifieds at New York, and friends that I know I'm gonna see throughout this business. That's it.
Oh yeah, I'll go. So I chose Boston this year. I was actually between Boston and Texas State too. And I love Texas State, but for me, I really wanted to be in a city, kind of like how I said earlier, UNCSA, I got kind of a campus sort of vibe, but I really wanted to get how I would do in a sort of city setting. And then also, I don't know if any of you guys know who she is, but Nina Simone Diaz, she goes to Boston Conservatory right now, and I love her. She kind of helped me, along at DA a lot, and so she attended their summer intensive too, and I was like, oh my gosh, well I have to go. So, so that was one factor to it.
So I was also between the Muni and Texas State, but I wanted to, so I've been deciding whether or not I should go into theater. So I kind of wanted to see what it would be like, I guess, if I were to actually succeed in theater. And so I chose the Muni, and it was also cool.
When I was applying for intensives, and after I got back what I had been accepted into, I narrowed it down between Oklahoma and CCM, and I ended up deciding the CCM because it was just more affordable for me at that time. And so I put down payments and like non-refundable, so I couldn't like take money out. And then I figured out that when I applied for one of the scholarships that I had applied to, you had to put the college like intensive you thought you were gonna go to, and on that scholarship I had put OCU, and so I ended up getting that scholarship, and it was full ride, so I was able to attend both intensives, and that was the Andrew Lloyd Webber scholarship from the American Theater Wing. And so I got fortunate enough to go to both, and they were both super different experiences, and I'm glad I got to go.
So, with me, full disclosure, I didn't know what I was doing, and I wanted to. I wanted to go to a college program, and by the time I had started doing research, a lot of them it was like, oh, they're doing a few days. So, and that one didn't end up. I didn't end up applying for any colleges, so that's why it's really important to start as soon as possible. And so, but then I saw that this program, like, it's not a college, so, and they still had openings, so I got in, and that's where I went.
And there's is it the DA Foundation Scholarship?
Yeah.
There, if you're a rising junior, you can, or sorry, not a rising junior, a rising senior in the junior class, you can write an essay, and the foundation it gives out. Last year was able to give out 2 partial scholarships, I believe, and so that's also a good thing to look out for. I think that starts happening in March.
So you can put stuff towards the intensives with the like you can find scholarships to help with the intensives, is what you were saying?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, a lot of intensives have a scholarship piece too. Like if you want a scholarship while you're submitting your videos and stuff, you can apply for some scholarships as well, I think.
Yes.
And it's within like when you're applying,
like
they'll see that?
The school
Oh,
might
cool.
have a small stipend or whatever.
Sorry.
Go Ella.
For the one that I applied to, it was like not connected to any of the schools. It was a separate thing, and it was I had to do a little bit of research about how to afford intensives, and I found like a page that just had a bunch of scholarships you could apply to for intensives. I forgot what it was called, but it's somewhere on Google.
I'm just gonna Google intensives.
Yeah, and I found the American Theater Wing one and another one that I didn't get, but it was a good one. It's on that page. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Another thing about some of these intensives is they have like attached advantage for college auditions. So like Liam's BOCO intensive, for the college audition process, there's like 2 steps. There's a pre-screen, which is like your first round, and then you can either get a call back and have your audition. And so BOCO has a pre-screen pass, so you get moved to the audition stage automatically. So that's
It's so great. So, okay, so there's many options. So you can either audition on campus while you're there. I did not feel ready at that time yet. But I know like you get put in different cohorts, which is just kind of like groups in the intensive. And a girl in my cohort, she auditioned and she got accepted, and she's going to BOCO next year for college for musical theater. So that's like incredible. And then also, so if you don't choose to do that, you automatically pass your pre-screen if you decide that you want to audition for the program later, which is great. And then you don't have to pay the application fee, which is fabulous because it's like $100-something. So it's really nice. So yeah.
The same thing with NYU too. If you do NYU, you automatically pass your pre-screen. You don't have to and like NYU's requirements are a lot different than like the typical musical theater because it's a Steinhardt instead of Tisch, so it's a lot more vocal based. So instead of having to film like 2-minute and 30-second video, like that's a totally different shot than what you're supposed to do for your actual pre-screens. You save time and money.
It was the same for OCU too. All the seniors that were there got to pass the pre-screens already, so they were just allowed to audition right away.
How competitive is the application process? And did you apply to a few, or did you just pick like one or two that you wanted to? You got in and went. How was that?
I guess so. So yeah, I applied to Texas State and Florida State, and I was fortunate to get into both. I also auditioned in November. I was able to do an in-person audition that was like a younger version of like the college audition coach I'm a part of now. And so since the schools were already there for the auditions, they saw juniors, and so I auditioned for both of those programs there, and I was able to get into both. And as far as competitive, Texas State takes about 50 kids for their summer intensive, and it is divided up into 4 groups, as well as like how BOCO does their cohorts. And FSU, I want to say, takes about 30, and I know they also do wait lists for Texas State. So if you don't get in at first, you can be on the like wait list, and if someone doesn't decide to go to Texas State, they'll take them off, and you'll have the opportunity to go.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing with me. I auditioned for like 5, I got into 3 of them, and then I just like chose which one I wanted to go to. They're kind of competitive based on what schools they are. Like Michigan is going to be more competitive than Ithaca is, and that's just how it is. Like the bigger the name, the more competitive it will be.
Yeah, me too. I auditioned for 4. I got into 3 and waitlisted for 1. And yeah, it's similar. I forgot the second part of that question. But the competitive. Yeah, it's competitive.
Like
but
how many people went to
Oh,
BOCO?
yeah, it was roughly around 50. We got divided into like 4 different cohorts, and they were divided up by like grade. Majority, though, like I would say 2/3 of the group was seniors, though. Like, but also you're still able to audition. There were still like, other people who weren't
Yeah, I
seniors
had
there.
some like going into their sophomore year. I
Yeah,
had like 3 or 4
there
of
were
those.
sophomores there too at mine. So, and they were so good.
Mhm.
Continue.
What was the wait? What was the first part?
If it's competitive.
It is competitive. It takes 12 kids a year, and that's rising juniors and rising seniors only. And what was the other part? I can't remember.
How many others did you apply to?
Oh yeah, I applied to 2 others. Sorry, I applied to 2 others, and I got into 2 of the 3.
I just applied to the Muni. I just got a little lucky.
I applied for, I think 7 or 8 intensives, and I had gotten into, yay, all of them, yay. So it just came down to picking which ones that I thought would be better for me, and both CCM and OCU were very different in how competitive it was. CCM had a lesser amount of kids, I want to say 30, and we were split up into 2 groups while we were there, so 15 and 15. So normally during the day, unless you were at the dorms, you were only around that group of 15 kids. And then at OCU, it was 50 kids, I want to say, and the first day was like auditioning not only for the show that you were putting on, but also what group you would be put into, and there was 3 groups there, and it was like skill level, so you were only around like, I want to say like this amount of kids compared to like that amount of kids. Like it was, everyone was not together the whole time, so you were really just stuck being compared with a smaller amount.
So for Stage Door, there are a lot of kids. So we're split up. I don't know how many there are, but there are 2 different buildings. So there's like the girl building, the boy building, and I'm pretty sure both of them are full. So yeah, we have a lot more kids at Stage Door. They fill up fast, so they're already full, I know, for at least one session. There's 3 different groups. So, but you're mainly with your cast, so which is 20, but it's not very competitive, I mean, yeah.
This was the only one I applied to because I was late. But I applied during spring break and I got in, so you don't have to rush, I don't think. There was a lot of people at this intensive. There was like 90, I think. But you were split up into like color groups, which is like a group of 12 people. So.
Can you guys go down the list and just say how long you guys stayed at your intensive?
8 days.
8 days?
2 weeks.
Ithaca was 3 weeks, and then NYU was 2.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
CCM was 2 weeks and OC was 3 weeks.
Stage tour is 3 weeks.
Great. It's about 10 after 8. Is everybody good with their questions? I want to let everybody get home at a decent time. So, good? Okay. Thank you, panel.